HBO Max's new documentary, Personality, The Dark Truth Behind Personality Test, is a very interesting documentary. Basically, what the documentary is exploring is that personality tests are becoming dangerous tools and they are discriminatory by nature. They are more focusing on Myers-Briggs Type Indicator and generalizing all the findings to every single personality test out there that is being used in the hiring process. This has triggered an official response by the Society of Industrial and Organizational Psychology. I'm going to read the response before moving forward and discussing what this means. The Society of Industrial and Organizational Psychology states, HBO Max and CNN film recently released a documentary titled Persona, The Dark Truth Behind Personality Test. The documentary makes a number of assertions that are inaccurate, potentially undermining good science and practice involved using personality assessments in the workplace. The film focused on the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator and correctly communicate that the type were not designed nor should be used to make hiring or other high-stake decisions. However, the focus on how Myers-Briggs Type Indicator can create problem for individual and organization obscure the fact that there is a body of research that support the use of personality assessment to inform decision-making. Basically, what the statement says, and if you ever been in a discussion with an IO psychologist or a specialist in that matter, and you brought up Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, they will tell you that test is not designed for hiring process, is not designed to be used in an organizational setting. And this is what the Society of Industrial Organizational Psychology is explicitly stating, that yes, that it's not, and we are not using it, but generalizing all your findings based on that Myers-Briggs personality, it's widely used, is widely known, but you discarding years of research, good scientific research based on something we already know, and everybody knows that should not be used in the hiring process. A lot of things were completely taken out of context, and many things were left out that could have explained better personality assessment. Also, the documentary is taking advantage of truly horrible events and portraying them as perceived ongoing injustice from employees who are using personality tests. Can I read that? This is a quote from the documentary, and it's stating that personality tests are by large constructed to be obvious, to be racist, to be sexist, and to be classist. That's what happens when you have a test based on norm devised from college-educated straight white man with no known disability. Personality tests are useful for individual people, sometimes on journey of self-discovery, but when they are used to make decisions by other people affecting someone else's life, they become dangerous tools. This is an extreme statement, in my opinion, because the entire documentary is based on opinions, is based on journalists, is based on personal experience, and I was waiting to see any professional psychologist, industrial organizational it doesn't have to be an industrial organizational psychologist, just a psychologist talking about personality, and that's by itself is a huge discussion. But the documentary was one-sided. They didn't have any experts, and the only person who interviewed was from an assessment company, and also the representative of Myers-Briggs Type Indicator Association clearly state that Myers-Briggs Type Indicator is not designed to be used in a hiring process. We all agree that Myers-Briggs is not designed to be used on a hiring decision, and all the professionals know that. So basically, when you come and you have your finding and you see that every single company out there are basing their assessment, their personality test assessment on Myers-Briggs, that is a far leap. Also, it sounds a little bit as a conspiracy, and there is a lot of companies, it's a business, there's a lot of consulting companies specializing on personality tests, on assessment. The documentary make it sounds like a conspiracy. There is consulting firm that specialize in assessment tests, different type of assessment tests, and the documentary didn't mention any of the big companies. The only mention was of a company that apparently was found to sell the same test to different companies, and under the pretext that every company is getting their own specifically designed test based on their needs. So I cannot comment because I don't have all the facts on this particular incident, but there is other companies out there that they're doing great job. It's based on research, years of research, not only when we're talking about personality tests, or we're talking about assessment tests, generally speaking, we are talking about internal validity, external validity, and there is so many factors that determine the validity of a test. And also, and this is something I'm taking a little bit personally, I try to be as objective as possible, but I'm taking it personally, that this stated that industrial organizational psychology is more concerned about the organization profit than anything else. I'm going to refer to the response from Society of Industrial Organizational Psychology, where they say that the field of industrial organizational psychology specializes in the implementation of scientifically valid assessment in the workplace. We study the requirement for success in job and help organizations evaluate candidates against job requirements, using assessment as the most effective and proven method. IO psychology was inaccurately described as supporting only organizational operation and profit. Rather, IO psychology addresses workplace issues to protect and improve career and life of individuals, and to enhance the effectiveness of team and organizations. A major focus of the field is to promote fairness, equity, and unbiased decision-making in organizations. So if you don't know what is industrial organizational stand for, if you don't understand the field itself, don't make assumptions. Organizational psychologists have done so much worked so hard to improve the life of individuals in an organization. That is the focus. It's not only the profit or the organizational operation. That is part of the field. I'm not going to say, no, we don't do that. But also, it was unfair to state inaccurately that is the goal of industrial organizational psychology. Another point is the documentary focused mostly on Myers-Briggs indicator type, and they mentioned the big five as is the same as Myers-Briggs type indicator. It's not the same. The big five has been studied multiple times, and the experiments have been conducted worldwide. So there is a difference, a big difference between the big five and Myers-Briggs indicator, and this was not mentioned in the documentary. Another good point that is algorithm. When you are applying for a job, you submit your resume, and there is an algorithm that's check your resume for fitness, and that's resulting on organization losing on talent. I agree, but that has nothing to do with personality tests. When you submit your resume, there is an ATS system, application tracking system, that scan your resume for keywords. I'm not saying the system is perfect, but that is different, has nothing to do with a personality test. I might have took this a little bit too personal, but this is misinformation regarding personality tests, regarding assessment, selection assessment. There is a lot of work that is being done in the field, and they just discard all the scientific research and focus simply on one non-personality test, and that everybody, even the organization, they never trademark the different types. They only trademark the name, which is Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. We all agree that under no circumstances Myers-Briggs personality test should be, or it's meant to be used for selection or hiring. There is other assessments that are used. Please share with me your thoughts about the documentary. I hope I didn't spoil it too much. It's still a good, an interesting documentary to see, but the main takeaway is it's really one-sided, based on personal experiences, based on on a book, based on really, it's more subjective, and I would have loved something similar, more objective, at least have a psychologist explain personality. It's not, and at a certain point in the documentary, they mention personality is something you are born with and you will die with, and there is a whole debate on nature versus nurture, and if your personality evolve over time or not. So at least you should have given a chance to the other side to talk about, to explain what is assessment and how the pre-selection assessments work. If this is your first time in the channel, subscribe and hit the notification button, so that will help me with YouTube algorithm.